Welcome to another installment of Deconstructing Babylon, where we discern the signs and symbols of the mystery religion of Hollywood Babylon. I'm the Discerning Clerk, and I use a biblical framework to deconstruct my favorite movies. I just want to say thank you for being here, for sticking with me, for having ears to hear what I have to say. I know what I share here can be difficult to take in, and you may just want to reject it. Frankly, it's okay if you do. I've said it before that movies and our differing opinions about them are really not that serious. But I truly hope that you take God seriously and take him at his word. I promise, reading the Bible for yourself is far better than any movie Hollywood could ever put out. Last week, we looked at an assassin training comedy, and today we're looking at an assassin training film of an entirely different nature, The Professional, or Leon the Professional, for the cinephiles. We find ourselves safely back in the 90s with this one, so we can go back to the video movie guide, my safe space. The Professional came out in 1994 and introduced us all to the powerhouse that has always been Natalie Portman when she was only 12 years old. It is billed as The Professional in the video movie guide, where it receives 4 stars. A fusion of the character-driven drama of French cinema and the conventions of the American action film, this film by director Luc Besson is a true oddity in which a simple-minded Italian hitman becomes the only friend of an abused 12-year-old girl. While not for all tastes, it's a strangely compelling tale that also features a typically over-the-top performance by Gary Oldman as a pill-popping psycho cop. You'll either love it or hate it. Rated R. I'm sorry, an Italian hitman? I was certain Leon was French, the original French film and character being the inspiration here. Oh well, let's see what we see in Leon the Professional. The opening credits roll with a sweeping shot over water, then Central Park, landing on the Manhattan skyline, the Twin Towers barely in view. We take to the streets of New York with a clearer shot of the Twin Towers. On to Little Italy, where we meet our main hitman, which is probably where reviewers get the idea Leon is Italian. Leon meets with another man who wants to secure Leon's services as the foreigner enjoys a glass of milk. The target in question is not a good guy, to say the least.
Somebody's coming up. Somebody's serious.
One by one, the target's henchmen are taken out by Leon, who we've yet to really see in full. This, of course, makes the target believe it has to be more than one person after him.
911 emergency.
I need help.
After the brief shots of the Twin Towers, it was only a matter of time before there was a 9/11 reference, or 911. 9/11 has become an infamous date for all the wrong reasons, but this date happens to align with the true birth date of Messiah, and will align once more when Messiah returns and fulfills the Day of Atonement, or Judgment Day.
Do you understand? So say it.
I understand.
Good.
Leon returns home, where we also meet his young, precocious neighbor, Matilda.
Don't tell my dad about the cigarette, okay?
Matilda's dad is a low-level drug dealer, but he doesn't work for the mafia or some other gang. Rather, he reports to an organized, secretive group of dirty cops, and at the head of this group is Norman Stansfield. Leon observes this interaction from apartment 6D, and young Matilda suffering at the hands of her father. Leon lives a quiet, simple life. He cares for his plant, he drinks his milk, he keeps to himself. The chaos in Matilda's home is in stark contrast to the peace in Leon's. Though I have to say, there are 3 siblings, 2 parents still together, and everyone seems relatively happy and healthy, except for Matilda. In fact, we learn Matilda's parents enrolled her in an expensive private school so she could get extra support. But Matilda left the school and hasn't returned.
She's dead.
Leon shows Matilda some kindness, which she seems to perceive as flirting or something. She goes to the store for groceries for her family and gets Leon some milk. And while Matilda is out, Stansfield returns with his crew to make an example of Matilda's dad and her family as a result.
What are you doing? He's dead!
But he ruined my suit.
Matilda returns to find her entire family has been killed, including her beloved little brother. Miraculously, Leon lets this troubled girl into his private sanctuary. He talks to her and tries to cheer her up a bit.
Right now, I have one in my kitchen. That's very clean. Smells very nice.
You don't have a pig in your kitchen.
Now, it's just an oven mitt, but I find it interesting that Leon calls the pig clean, because Yahuwah has declared pigs to be unclean animals. Leon quickly realizes that his kindness to Matilda means more than just a quick escape. It means guardianship, partnership, and even friendship.
But not with me. I work alone, understand, alone.
Matilda decides she wants to learn the business, to be a cleaner, and kill the men who killed her brother. But Leon is more than reluctant to take Matilda under his wing.
If you saved my life, you must have saved it for a good reason.
The unlikely duo pair up and move out. Leon agrees to train Matilda in the basics, and he goes to meet with his only friend, Tony. Tony brings Leon his jobs, manages his money, and generally keeps an eye on him.
One thing's got nothing to do with the other. Remember that, Leon.
And so Matilda begins her training, starting with the rifle. Leon explains the rifle keeps distance from the target. She takes aim at a jogger in Central Park, a man in bright orange with a large security detail.
Can we try with real bullets now?
Leon trains her in discipline, physical stamina, and mental strength. And of course, this includes drinking a lot of milk. In turn, Matilda helps Leon with reading and writing in English.
Leon, all we do is work. We need a break. Let's play a game.
The game Matilda chooses is charades. She starts with Madonna, the Queen of Pop. As I've said before, the titles given to celebrities of king, queen, prince, or goat are references to the rulers, powers, and principalities of darkness in the heavenly places. Then she does Marilyn Monroe, the dual presidential mistress with double initials MM, pointing to the Freemasons. Then Charlie Chaplin, another character with double initials, CC, pointing once more to 33 and the Freemasons. Leon goes back to see Tony, who is concerned he hasn't seen his friend in a while, and that he hasn't been working. He's upset that Leon hasn't killed someone for money in a while.
Been working a long time and I haven't done anything with my money.
Leon thinks he can help Matilda by providing for her financially. It's possible he thinks he will die before she becomes an adult, or he doesn't want her around anymore, so he'll just give her a bunch of money so she'll leave. Tony is concerned that maybe Leon is being manipulated for his money.
Leon, I think I'm kind of falling in love with you.
Like she's some kind of Lolita. Leon leaves Matilda alone to go do a job, and Matilda gets herself and Leon into big trouble when left to her own devices. She hasn't learned or applied any of the discipline Leon has tried to teach her.
Except he's not really my father. He's my lover.
Matilda goes back to her former home, which is still taped up as a crime scene. But hasn't it been weeks or even months? She grabs a few things, including a stack of cash hidden under a floorboard, when she's interrupted by the killer and dirty DEA agent Stansfield, and some detectives investigating the killings.
The door was broken. What happened? Did you follow the procedure?
Matilda follows Stansfield to his office building, still planning to get revenge for her brother. When Leon returns, Matilda quickly turns off the Transformers cartoon she is often watching. The meaning behind the Transformers isn't so hidden. Mechanical aliens who can transform into Earth-based machines. Duality, deception, false saviors. Anyway, because of Matilda's lies, she and Leon need to move again. And once again, Leon goes to see Tony and talk about his money. This time, Leon definitely has in mind his own mortality.
If anything happens to me, I like you to give her my money.
While Leon is out, Matilda plans to visit Stansfield and exact her revenge in a federal building.
So this is something personal, is it?
Leon is hot on her trail, already killing Stansfield's men. He finds her in Stansfield's office and rescues her out of there. Stansfield seems to have an unlimited supply of henchmen, and he brings a new group to visit Tony.
When you've killed for us in the past, we've always been satisfied.
Tony points Stansfield to Leon, and Matilda's carelessness brings the bad cop right to his door, along with dozens of masked agents.
Final position, we're ready to go.
Be careful.
Suddenly, the entire police force, SWAT team, and special agents descend on the motel for one man. And one by one, Leon takes out the officers, who aren't only in his building, but are in the building across the street. Leon risks his life for Matilda and also for his beloved houseplant. He puts his plant and his surrogate daughter into the wall to escape, as officers take aim with a high-powered round to take Leon out for good. In all the confusion, Leon gets escorted out as a wounded officer, but Stansfield spots him. Matilda makes it out with the plant, and just as Leon sees daylight and thinks he's home free, Stansfield takes him down.
Stansfield.
At your service.
And Leon ensures Matilda gets her revenge with one final act that will kill them both. Matilda makes it to Tony's, where she drinks a glass of milk, and listens as Tony tells her all that Leon did for her.
Come on, you think I ain't hurting too?
In the end, Matilda has nowhere to go but back to the private school she left. I guess it's also a boarding school, but this is where Matilda decides to put down roots and plant her plant.
I think we'll be okay here, Leon.
The camera pans away, and the final shot is the New York City skyline, without the Twin Towers. I mentioned in the opening that this was like my last deconstruction of Zoolander, due to the assassin training program. But I was kind of surprised to see another similarity, and that is the name Matilda. So I looked into it a little bit, and besides the Roald Dahl precocious child Matilda, there is also a character of the same name appearing briefly in Dante's Divine Comedy. She is a siren of sorts, representing the earthly realm, or specifically the Garden of Eden. And this Matilda definitely had some of the same seductive characteristics. Despite her young age, she might be someone who would be considered having an old soul, or being older beyond her years. So even though the title of the professional features Leon, it was really more a story about the beginning of Matilda and the end of Leon. In the past, watching this movie, I viewed Matilda as a victim of her abusive family and her unfortunate circumstances. But this time, I couldn't help but see her as a villain, an angry, contrary, rebellious girl. And in her villainy, she dragged Leon down with her. And not by accident, but it was something she had planned. Matilda represented some Freemason duality, as I pointed out with the charades game. But more than that, she constantly was shown wearing a choker necklace with a full sun pendant. And it is my opinion that this has dual meaning. The sun, first of all, that is one of the pillars of the Freemason temple, but also the sun worship that permeates the Roman Catholic Church. I also believe it is indicative of a father-son relationship with Leon, as opposed to a father-daughter relationship. So some gender blurring going on. Leon is another story. He wasn't just a surrogate father figure, but a counterfeit of the Heavenly Father. And I say that because his name, spelled backwards, is Noel, no God. He was shown always in black and white, and the sunglasses he wears have some meaning, though I'm not too sure what it is yet. But it reminds me of The Matrix and the awake characters wearing sunglasses constantly. Let me know in the comments what you think the sunglasses mean. Is it willing blindness? Is it trying to stay in the dark and keep out of the light? Or is it nothing and not that serious? I'd love to hear from you. When it comes to Stansfield and the obvious dirty cops, I have to think about the law keepers in the Bible, the judges. The judges were in place prior to the kingship, and they were meant to advise the children of Israel about their transgressions and keep order. They also had authority to remove the enemies of the Most High and bring men into battle. We don't necessarily have examples of rebellious judges who went against the people or disobeyed the law, but we know how Hollywood Babylon likes to twist the truth and rewrite the narrative. Stansfield and his men are not to be trusted, but they do have authority to keep and enforce the law. And they clearly abuse that authority. So they are all killed by Leon, Noel, vigilante justice, but justice nonetheless. Finally, all the milk drinking means something to me too. And while milk is maybe meant to represent something pure or innocent, its use in movies has always been nefarious. Think the drugged milk in A Clockwork Orange, Anton Chigurh in No Country for Old Men, or Hans Landa in Inglourious Basterds, drinking milk. Maybe it's just supposed to be another duality symbol, the villain drinking something innocent. But I'd like you to consider something else as well, and that is how milk has been marketed to us millennials since we were young. The Got Milk ads with celebrities wearing a milk mustache, the missing children advertised on milk cartons, and in my opinion, this points to child trafficking. Now, I don't necessarily think Leon was a child trafficker or that they are even implying that. I think they are saying Matilda is a trafficked child and has been groomed to be a trafficker of others. But that's just my opinion. And that's enough for today. Thank you for enduring to the end. Give the video a thumbs up if you agree and a thumbs down if you disagree. Please comment below what you think I missed with this one and to suggest any movie you'd like me to deconstruct in the future. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, but don't follow me. Follow the one who saves you. And until next time, keep looking up.
And that's exactly why today is going to be very, very hard for me. I hope you'll excuse my mood.